So what was the reason behind you really diving into LinkedIn, going to produce content around your personal brand?
Solely just seeing the opportunity cost if I didn't, as somebody who had the marketing background, and knowing that where I was in my career, if I started to put myself out there and just like try and create content, which was something I wasn't super comfortable in or didn't have like a lot of chops in, but when it became video, creating video was just how it could get me to a point in my career that I really wanted to be. So a bit of personal development, a ton of professional development in the process, continuous learning, knowing that like I really always want to be learning. And there was clearly an opportunity there because you started to notice just like, I think when videos came out, it really started to be like, wow, you could see views on every single video that was out on LinkedIn. And not everybody had it, but I just like happened to have it. And I was like, shit, like seems like a lot of views to be giving away. Like from what I know about maybe Instagram, it seems like there'd be a pretty big opportunity here to start creating more and more content. So it's just what I did. And with a steady flow of trying to stay active in the community itself and really get to know like a few of the key pieces and start to see them more and more on LinkedIn. And, that was where I saw people like Swish initially before I connected with them. And I mean, LinkedIn has everything to do with like True Fan being an opportunity today for me to explore. And yeah, it's just like I kind of said, for any objective out there, whether that be personal, professional, brand development, like anything, there's probably a way that you can use LinkedIn to help you achieve those goals. Mm-hmm. So from a marketing side, like being able to then turn that into consulting and apply some very similar principles to the way I was able to carve out a bit of a personal brand to a guy with gray hair who's been a CMO for like 20 years, very different stage of his life than I am. But again, just like, you ultimately use social media as marketing tools for the brands that you work for. And so just a lot of those same principles, but it was still such an early stage. And, even some of those main influencers on that platform in particular were kind of shouting about the white space that existed for people creating content, like under 1%, which it might still be of the entire user base on LinkedIn, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And so I think there is a huge opportunity still on LinkedIn, even though people have been talking about it for so long.
Facts.
I know that like I need to get on. I think I probably once every 2 months, like, I gotta go all in on LinkedIn now. And I just keep reminding myself that I have to do this. And like more and more is like the Instagram algorithm, like I just keep seeing my likes they're trending downwards, consistently going down.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I know I have to get on LinkedIn, and I think a beautiful part about LinkedIn that I've noticed from my time just kind of like going around the platform and seeing what other people are doing is high produced quality content, like from a visual standpoint, isn't the norm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like the barrier of entry, if you're trying to become like a YouTuber, feels bigger because there's such, like you have to get that like perfect camera and get the perfect angles, whereas LinkedIn, it's like a guy driving to work and he'll throw his camera on his dash and hit record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a good point you bring up because like I'd have to say from my experiences, both as it relates to like consulting for somebody else and just putting out videos of my own, the more informal videos, and typically as well, like if you can include somebody else in there as more of an interview style, but just generally the more informal it is, just the best performance comes from those types of videos, which is strange. Mm-hmm. Because I know the guy who I've done work with for a little while, he has a video producer now, and some of them will be a little bit more like professionally produced. And it's not to say like his performance goes down, but you do see that uptick every time he just like decides to record a quick one from the airport or something like that after a conference. And it could have a bit to do with the content, but you got to imagine like if you see content as much as I do sometimes, it's like, okay, well, that has nothing to do with anything more than the video itself and the fact that he just started like holding his camera like this and it was like started as a selfie video. So strange because it's not the norm on like Instagram or YouTube, especially like where you talk about what do they call those thumbnails?
Yeah,
it's like everything on that platform, right? Like that's built people careers.